and family, my friend. So, let's talk. We're gonna get some coffee, and we're gonna have a little chat about really what I mean and kind of like what inspired me to talk about this, right? Because I've been in the space for quite a while. I've just been entrenched in the community um since early 2017. So I've met a lot of friends. I've had a lot of disagreements. I've had a lot of good times. I've had a lot of bad times. You know what I mean? And as most people have that have been around for a decent amount of time, right? Like I'm not ancient, but I put in some years. So when it comes to being genuine and actually meaning it, um this is kind of a life thing too. Because like you could center this around almost anything, but we're just gonna use it in like a real musical example. Um so for instance, you'll have people that really talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk, and there's a lot of people out there like that. And what do I mean? The people that say that they want to put in hours and say that they, um, care about the scene and X, Y, or Z and this and this and this. And when the first kind of real life thing pops up, everything kind of gets dropped, right? And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that you should put the scene before your life, right? Like family and friends come first. But life doesn't stop. You know what I mean? Like life is gonna continue on. Like you're guaranteed good days, you're guaranteed bad days. And like the people that really do something with themselves in any kind of creative space push through those really shitty days. They push through a lot of like the life stuff that kind of will sideswipe them. And you really just have to be honest with a lot of the things that you're doing, which is why Music Mondays is kind of founded on a lot of these ideas and a lot of these kind of morals, that it's important to be very much genuine with what you do, because I come from a time where underground creativity was at its highest, right? And the pandemic hit, and we're pretty much like post-pandemic now, and the creative scene is starting to like bloom again. And you'll see a lot of people get that weird fake motivation where they're kind of like, yeah, like I'm gonna play a bunch of shows this summer, I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna go, like, those people that just, again, talk the talk but just don't walk the walk. You know what I mean? And those are dangerous people to be around when you're trying to take shit serious. For content reasons, right? You know what I mean? Like you could have a song on an album that you really, really love, and the feature isn't getting back to you, and the feature isn't getting back to you, and da da da. You either have to scrap the song or get another feature on it, and shit like that is like one small instance. Like there are so many other instances where you could have something planned with somebody and then they flake on you, and it could be really important. And again, don't get me wrong, like this is a very much like, you don't need to put your content first, but you do need to push through a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? That's one thing I can tell you. Like I was raised to never really speak on things I don't know about. So anytime you see me really speaking on shit like this, it's because I genuinely have either A, been through it, or have B, seen it. So it's like, this is why this is kind of an important conversation, because a lot of those people can be really good people. You know what I mean? It's not really anything personal. It's more so on a creative and business and like just content aspect, where like those serious kind of like, it's a very non-genuine thing, which is why I started it by saying, let's talk about being genuine, because that seems to be like some kind of like hard thing to do these days. And I say these days, but pre-pandemic underground and post-pandemic underground are very different. You know what I mean? It's a very different place, and it's finally just starting to bloom again, right? Because even in 2020 and 2021, shit was a bit weird, but 2022 and 2023, shit started to get really bright again. And with the brightness also comes a little bit of weird shit. And people kind of get, again, infatuated with the idea of shows and traveling and X, Y, or Z. And it's just like at the end of the day, like those people kind of gotta save themselves, right? And you always need to be cautious of certain people like that. Like if people kind of show you that they're inconsistent, believe them. You know what I mean? 100% believe them. Because that's not really a trait that goes away overnight. It's one of those things that like shows when you actually change it, right? So if you're super inconsistent, the only way anybody's gonna like take you fully serious with consistency is if you're replacing that. You know what I mean? You're putting out work, whatever it is, whether it be art, vocals, instrumentals. It doesn't matter. YouTube videos, streams. Literally apply this to anything. It's one of those things where it's like nobody's going to really like fully understand it until you put it out there and really show the work, because words just aren't enough. Like words are great, but you kind of like you can't get trapped in that kind of like mental cycle where you're always like amping yourself up but you're never doing anything about it. That's like a real dangerous fucking place to be. You know what I mean? Like you gotta put in that work. Like this is, and again, context, this is for the serious creatives, right? This is not for the people that don't take it serious or just kind of are whatever. This is for the people that want to pay their bills with this shit independently. It's gonna suck. It fucking blows, but it's still a job. But we're blessed to be able to have a job that we actually like. You know what I mean? Like 6 days a week we're grinding, but some days it's gonna blow, and some days you're gonna have other life shit going on, and you need to make a choice as to what's really important to you, and especially if it involves like other people. You know what I mean? Like if you have a team and you have a crew and even your peers, like it's important to them that you commit to certain things. Like you can't just drop your hat off at the first shitty life instance. And again, like this isn't to say that you need to put like your content first, because right, like things happen. Family goes in the hospital, pet shit, fucking relationship shit, you name it. You know what I mean? You name it. Take care of what you need to take care of, but always remember like how important this shit is to you if you've put in the work, if you've been consistent, if you've done all this. Like I've seen people just throw full blown careers away that are completely fucking talented. You know what I mean? Like, so that's one of those things where it's like you just got to remember that like there are people out here that will say they want it, but they'll never kind of back up those words. And that, again, is kind of like a really dangerous thing to be around. And it's even like a more dangerous thing to think, right? Because you're always kind of like in that mental stimulation, but you're not backing it up with any work. So, just be genuine out here, you know what I mean? Like, recognize what you want from this shit. You know what I mean? And if you want to take it serious, take it serious. If you want to chill, chill. But if you're on the more serious side of things, just get ready to sacrifice a little bit. You know what I mean? Put some elbow grease in. Like nothing that was like worth it is ever easy, and everybody knows that saying. You know what I mean? But it's like really true. Like you can't cut corners with this shit. You're not gonna get handed anything. You're not gonna make anything off of a cosign. Like you know what I mean? Like people respect work and catalogs and consistency, and all that isn't worth shit if you're not genuine. So that's why I say just be fucking genuine. You know what I mean? Be real with people, and like if you want to get involved with a project or a team or shit, even your peers. You know what I mean? Do right by them. And if some real shit's going on, explain that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, people always respect like honesty and loyalty. You know what I mean? Cuz I'm a pretty loyal guy, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing, like I've been burned a lot too, as most people have in this scene. But when it comes to being loyalty, like again, that's one of those things that Music Mondays is founded on. You know what I mean? Like my staff is a fucking team through and through. You know what I mean? Like it's not about work and this. It's not an office job. You know what I mean? Like we're creatives and we're a team and we have to act like it. So when I see people outside of the community treating their peers like shit or X, Y, or Z, I feel the need to speak on some of this shit because I've seen it happen multiple times, and I never once thought, oh yeah, like that's cool, bro. Like you totally like fuck that guy over. Like that's lit. You know what I mean? Like I've never once thought that. Like that's the thing. Like so that's where I'm always real torn on it, and I make sure that we speak on these kinds of things. Um, for the newer guys and the older creatives too, right? Because sometimes, again, you just get in that mental kind of cycle where you could be telling yourself you're gonna do X, Y, or Z plans, but you overwhelm yourself and you end up doing fucking nothing. You know what I mean? Which in some cases is fine, but if you're fucking over other people's projects or even your own projects, it becomes a problem. You know what I mean? So that's why I say kind of recognize what you want from the shit, and then if you want to go far, then you get that ass in gear. You know what I mean? So yeah, very, 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 very fucking important. And that's that, my friends. That'll probably go on YouTube, so make sure you drop a like, subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments as well. And just as I said that, King Mark comes in with a motherfucking Twitch Prime for fucking 12 months. That is a whole year. Happy 1 year, Mark. Let's fucking go. 1 year, huh? May 8th. Wow. What the fuck? Let's fucking get it, baby. Huge shout out to King Mark. Happy 1 year, homie. Thank you for using your Prime here with the team. And that new badge is actually gas. What the actual fuck, bro? Yeah, now that's it. That's the one right there. The 1 year badge. That's it. So that puts us 5 out of 20 for our sub goal. I should have changed that to 10 because we hit like a massive sub-apocalypse like a couple weeks ago, but I never switched it back to 10. So huge shout out to Mark for inching us up there, baby. So yeah, that's that on that, man. You know what I mean? Like I don't like to harp on too much of the same shit. And if anybody would like to really like, you know, discuss any of that or again wants to sound off in the comments, please do. You know what I mean? Like this is like what we do this for. You know what I mean? So definitely check out those segments and the rest of our tips and tricks on our YouTube channel. I'm actually watching with audio on while my shit was goofing. Yeah, so you can switch the fucking icons if you want. Like even if you're watching with audio, you can put that on. So don't worry. I got you, baby. But. All right, chat. How we doing? It's Monday. You know what time it is. We talked. We had a little talk. And before we get into reactions and reviews, let me know or let Music Mondays know if there's anything you'd like to see us talk about. I'd be happy to speak on any questions or things that you guys are curious about or curious about Music Mondays. If you have any questions about us, my history, things like that, definitely feel free. You know what I mean? Absolutely feel free. I would love to kind of answer anybody's questions that they were ever curious about. But with that said, let's fucking get it, baby. So actually